Hey, ambitious souls, welcome to Christian Moon Business, and today I will be showing you guys how to create a blog post. So, this is actually going to be a blog post that I am creating on a Word document or Google document actually. And so I will show you guys pretty much how I rough draft this in order to prepare it to actually be put on Wix, so on the platform that I use. So this is an example that I use for a business that my husband and I were trying to start but didn't quite start it because of a lot of different variables. And so I did have a blog post from there, so I'm going to use this one as an example. So first of all, you want to have a catchy and a good title. So for this one, we were trying to open up an event space. So it needs to be related to whatever it is that your business or your service is. So since this was an event space, I used 5 great benefits of having a micro wedding. And then I'm going to want to put an image. So a lot of websites already have a bunch of stock images that are already pretty much in your website that you can use for free. Some of them may cost, but there are a lot of free options. Okay, now this image is a real image from our actual wedding. We actually had a micro wedding, so I was able to use a real image, which was perfect. Okay, so when you are creating a blog post, you're going to want to take it back to the school days. Okay, so I am going to set this up the same way I would a essay, okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly like that. Like, I'm not asking you guys to go into API form or whatever. I can't even remember what those forms were, but I'm not asking you guys to go into that. But at the same time, you kind of want to structure it the same. So you're going to want to have, for instance, an introduction paragraph. You're going to want to have a body. You're going to have a conclusion. And then we will go more into what happens after that. But first of all, so we're going to start with introduction. So introduction is pretty much telling you what direction this blog post is going into. So for instance, my introduction is, as time goes on, we are hearing the term micro weddings more frequently. Micro weddings really became a thing during the pandemic due to the government restrictions and capacity limits. Well, first, let's explain what is a micro wedding. By Google's definition, a micro wedding involves up to about 20 guests maximum. Usually include close family members and a select few friends. Okay, so before I get into this whole thing, if you understand how I actually set up this paragraph, where first I'm giving them the definition of a micro wedding, because a lot of times before you actually go into like the meat of everything, you want to kind of define like what it is that you're talking about. Some people have never ever heard of a micro wedding, so I'm giving them Google's definition and letting them know it's approximately how many guests. So once I do that, then I kind of go and I talk about the fact of how now it's super popular, and then I'm going to like basically recap the introduction, if that makes sense. Like give my last sentence, make that actually a conclusion. So for instance, my last sentence is, check out my list below of 5 great benefits of having a micro wedding. So that's concluding my introduction paragraph, okay? But then it's preparing them for what's to come, all right? So then the first thing, I'm going to use steps for this one. And you see that in a lot of blog posts where they may say 5 great benefits or 5 steps to having a better life or 5 resources for this and that. That is a really good way to set up a blog post, and usually a good 5 of them is like perfect for a blog post, because you don't want to have it super long and you want to be able to engage your reader, to the point where they are actually staying on your website. Okay, so I list out the benefits, and then once I list out the benefits, I actually provide like a description of what it is that I'm talking about as far as the benefits go. And for me, I also use a little bit of storytelling. Storytelling is really, really good. And you guys may have heard this from like other people. Storytelling is really good because it helps your readers be able to relate to whatever it is that you're talking about. So I use a little bit of personal experience, and then also it shows like your expertise in whatever it is that the field is. So for instance, benefit number 1 is that it's way less stress. So before I tell them, about why it's way less stress, I use the story of, what happened with me and my husband when we first got engaged. So, for instance, when my husband first proposed to me, I thought of how much of a fairy tale the actual ceremony would be. It's a girl's dream to walk down the aisle with all of her friends and family in attendance, to have the amazing decor and the support of a big wedding party. But probably about 24 hours later, I thought about the stress from trying to plan a wedding. So you're going to be super descriptive and you're going to want to be engaging. So I'm letting them know, like, okay, yeah, everything was all great and dandy, of course, when I got proposed to. But then when I started to think about the headache, I said, okay, yeah, that a big wedding is not for me. So then I kind of go into details about what type of stress comes with that, okay? So then I go to benefit 2 about it being a money saver. So then I'm going into details about us and our experience about wanting to have a dream honeymoon as opposed to a dream wedding. And when we did have our dream honeymoon, it allowed us to become closer and do so many different like crazy activities, together, which made us connect more, like climbing a volcano and parasailing and crazy stuff like that, okay? So then benefit 3, I talk about it being much more intimate. Then I move on to benefit number 4, the planning aspect, so I'm talking about that and all the different things you have to plan for and why that just was a no-go for us, okay? Then benefit number 5, I talk about why it is less time. That's a great benefit. And then I go into details about that. And again, I'm using a lot of my personal experience to kind of tie in to make it much more relatable and help my reader understand that I know what I'm talking about, okay? Because I've done it. So then after that, I'm going to go to my introduction paragraph, okay? So the introduction paragraph is going to be that paragraph that's going to tie up what you are saying. So you don't want to say all of this and then just leave your reader hanging, all right? You can't do that. You have to let them know, okay, this is what it was, but now I'm going to tie up why I said all of these things. So my introduction paragraph was, conclusion paragraph was, so now that you have seen the benefits of having a micro wedding, I hope it makes you more comfortable with the possible idea of having this as an option. For me, honestly, I tell everyone it was the best decision we could have ever made. We went into our wedding stress-free in a timely fashion, and we didn't go into debt. Whether or not you choose to have a huge wedding or a micro wedding, one word of advice is to always remember at the end of the day, it's about your love and commitment to one another. The wedding is a great day to celebrate your love, but the marriage itself is the ultimate intention. Sharing your lives together forever is the main objective. So that tied in everything, it concluded everything, right? But then you don't stop there, because you have to understand that the reason why you actually have a blog is because you want to lead your reader or your audience somewhere. There's a reason why businesses have blogs. So when you do that, you can even go for a soft sale. So that's what I did in this instance, because we were opening up an event space that actually had a space to be able to have micro weddings. I figured, let's take this opportunity to go into a medium soft sale. Okay, so I'm giving them a little nudge to possibly book with us. So I say, in the event that you are located around the Metro Detroit area, consider having your micro wedding at an ambitious event space. Having a micro wedding myself gave me the knowledge and experience to be able to help you pull off your micro wedding stress-free and in a way that you will never forget. See images below of our space and feel free to visit an open house tour to get a real feel of all the space has to offer. So I'm asking them for the sale, right? And then also I am letting them know that because I had a micro wedding myself, I have experience, okay? So I have a little bit of expertise in this area, all right? And so that will help someone more comfortable with making a sale, right? And then I say that I have images below to show, the space itself. So that's why I put images here, and I mark that in red. So when I do actually upload this into my website, I know that this area here is reserved to put images of the space, so then they can kind of get an idea of the space, which would eventually lead them to going to the rest of my website and actually seeing more pictures or actually booking with us, okay? So then after that, I say, Also, if you are planning to have a micro wedding, download my free checklist here. This list will help you make sure that you have everything covered for your special day. We hope to hear from you soon, and congrats on creating a life together forever. And then I have a link right here which says clickable link to download. And so again, that's letting me know that once I'm done with uploading everything, I need to put a link here for the checklist that is free. So again, there is a reason for having a blog. So you are using your blog to communicate what type of business you are, like if you are informative, or communicate your brand's voice. Are you funny? Are you relatable? All of that type of stuff. But then also you are using your blog to kind of make a soft sell as well. You're using it for SEO purposes. So for instance, if someone was typing what are the benefits of having a micro wedding, if your SEO game is pretty good, this will be one of the actual articles that will pop up that will lead someone to reading this article and then wanting to know a little bit about your space, because you have asked for the sale, you have inserted the images of the space, and then now you're actually giving them a freebie. You're saying download my free checklist here. And when they are downloading your free checklist, it's a benefit for them, because number one, even if they decide not to actually utilize your space to have their wedding, they have a free resource from you, okay? And that is a game changer, having a checklist for a wedding. Trust me, because even having a small wedding, it's always something that you're forgetting. So they're getting a free resource, but at the end of the day, they are having to put in their email address in order to download this free checklist. So you are getting something out of the deal as well. You are getting their email address. So then maybe if they don't want to use you now for maybe a micro wedding, you still have their email address to be able to pitch to them or email and market your business to them, maybe for a birthday party or a baby shower or whatever it is that they may need this event space for in the future. So it's a great win-win for all parties involved. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up how to actually format it. So this is like your rough draft before you actually put it into your website. And I will be creating a video on how to put it into the website. So showing you guys pretty much the different buttons and what to push. Say for instance, if you wanted to upload images, or if you wanted to have a clickable link, to be able to download a freebie in there. I use Wix, but I'm telling you, pretty much all the platforms work the same, so it's just about knowing exactly what to do and then kind of navigating your way through whatever platform that you're using. Okay, so if you want a video like that where I'm going into the actual platform and uploading everything and showing you guys how everything works, please comment below and say yes, I do. Okay, and I will be sure to get right on that. And then also, if you guys have not checked out my other video, which is how blogging can help your business, please check that out, because that is going to let you know exactly why blogging is so important. And so many people sleep on blogging. So please watch that video so you can get a better understanding of why it's so important. And then I will be creating a blog post which will consist of 20 blog post ideas for any niche. So please go to my website and see that. That should be up. If it's not up already, then it'll be up in a few days. But this will be 20 different ideas. It doesn't matter what niche you are in, what industry you are in. So this will just pretty much give you some type of starting point, so to get your engine running, so you can know what you should be writing about. Because I noticed that a lot of people sometimes they get stuck at the beginning of knowing, okay, what should I be saying to these people, So that's what I got for you guys for today. And like I said, feel free to comment below, and also make sure that you guys are subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video.